Hello! I made a bad decision. I started to do this and inadvertently hit that, but I gotta finish this. So I'll be there in a bit. I love Instagram. People sharing their adventures. Pups on the Road is in Arcadia National Park. I told him to tell Patrick's Point I said hi. I love it there. It's one of my favorite places on the earth that I've been to so far. So, it's Monday. Feels like Sunday. For some it is Sunday, because it's a holiday. It's not a holiday for me. I do not like some of the representations of what this day means to people. First song out of the chute today on the Pandora was a song by Norah Jones. I love Norah Jones. She's rad. Called American Anthem. It was in the movie The War. See, the way I see it, there's been this big, gross, nasty game of chess. It's been played by these super egos, and the price have been the ones that we love. Not just the ones that died, that you're memorializing today, but the ones that have come back forever changed, not the person who they were. Awakened to a way of life, of stories and lies have been told, and they're seeing the reality of their own knowing and how it contradicts what we've always been told. You see, the government is just an entity that was created to keep us from killing ourselves. Then it got all convoluted and good old boy and seedy and gross and corrupt, because the men in it are. Yeah, and there's never any consequence, and if you're a good secret teller, which I'm not, I never know which is secrets or not, unless they tell me, and then I forget. So, mistakes are made. Anyway, but my mistakes never involve killing people. Nope. So far, thank God. So, I can't do social media today. This is one of the days I just can't do it. I'll go on and Instagram, I do, and then I just scroll past the ignorance. I scroll past the, and it's ignorance because people are so caught up in outward stuff that is just all made up reindeer games, and they aren't even open to the idea of a new way of thinking. So many of them. And it looks like I have like camo on my face. It's just hard to watch. And you try and kind and lovingly look up and say, oh my God, what is all that stuff they're spraying in the sky? I wonder what that is. And then they go home. I'm like, you should go home like this shit. This is all day. I live in fucking Oregon. What the fuck are they training for? Oh, it's a Memorial Day. It's a fucking waste of resources is what it is. That's my dissonance. Do you hear my dissonance? That's how I feel inside. the weapons of mass destruction. Remember those in Iraq? Weapons of mass destruction. That's why the whole thing happened. And then guess what? There were none. Because you're a fucking liar, GW. Whatever Bush you were, I got to flip you off on September 11th, you puke. So, all day they fly over. I just fucking Salem, Oregon. What the fuck are you doing with those in Salem, Oregon? And so now that it's passed, I am calmer now. Back to my nature. This is why I'm moving north, because it is loud. It's so loud in the city. I just hate it. Where was I? Oh yeah, look up in the sky. I wonder what they're spraying up there. Maybe we should go home and Google what that's all about. Or let's see another one. Oh, just all your, look at all the bells and whistles that, oh, like, okay, this is a thought that I had to put out. So I read that the owner of the Trailblazers, I hate sports, pro sports, and this is why, because this goes in with that whole good old boy club stuff, because, see, he charges these stupid prices and pay these people these stupid wages. And you, like, what, like, and then, like, even the concession stands, freaking just obnoxious, just, like, so you make this inflated environment based on nothing, where you can collect people and you can take their money, and then you can take your money to Washington, D.C., and give it to special interest groups. Yeah. And then those interest groups vote on who has the biggest pot of money. It has nothing to do with the good of the whole. Nothing to do with that. So, old boy freaking donated like $1 million to the effort for gun control. Gun control! That's what got us here, dummies. That whole control is what got us to where we are now, where the people of the earth literally have to ascend to rise past all your gross shit that you've created with your pollution and your trash and your inflated egos. So that happened. I've been watching a lot of Alaska, The Last Frontier, Ots Lee and Ots. My favorite episode I've ever seen is called Fear and Floating. And that's how I know people can change and evolve past the lower vibrational greedy frequencies in which they've always been, become better and higher and be brighter and live closer, and then one day hopefully live in love. So oh, what, another airplane. This is why and I don't like tan lines, so I flip a lot of planes off because they fly overhead all day long. So I don't want them looking at me. Everybody has a camera pointed somewhere, and I don't want to be a little brown girl in the unprohibited picture share. Oh, fear and floating. So this is how I know people can change. That's why I always have hope, because when people change, you don't do a 360, you do a 180. Because you do a 360, you just end up where you start. And there's a lot of healing on that show. Or, you know, you get older, you have to adapt to you can't, you know, the Ots realized that that his harmful, forceful way when training horses is no longer effective. By the way, I hear the ways of the horse in the equestrian world is coming back in a very big way, and that pleases me. I always wanted to learn how to ride a horse. They scare me, because I knew of one that reacted poorly to its own owner and broke its neck. It scared me. I was young and impressionable when that happened. It's like 4 or 3, so I respect them, and I will learn. I would like to break a horse one day. So, but I'll do it the Ott's way. And then because of the way he reacted in horse training, his son, Ott's Lee, reacted, had a fear of horses. That's what it does. It's the vibration that people contain, that fury, that rah. And at the end of the show, they were both able to heal, going from, because the father had to heal from having to succumb to doing things a new way. And for a man that is so sure in his knowing, that it's not always, or a person I should say, it's not gender specific, it's not always easy to do. So they and Ott's Lee was able to break the horse. I hope I got his name right. And in a peaceful manner. So he got to get over his fear too, and father got to get over his guilt and whatever emotions he needed to. But that's what happens when you work together in close proximity. When you collaborate. See, that's why the homestead life is the way for me. Because you can rely on your neighbors. They'll razz you. And see, and that's another thing. That's the only thing that has come from wars that is good, that I can see. Is that the community, the men that made it back and the women that made it back after seeing what they had to see, they want to live in community, and they want it, when you have to live in chaos to do whatever you possibly can to prevent it from happening. The blowers. So those are the mentalities that are coming back, and that are hopefully, and the ones that are the fear of the fury and the dissidents and the drinking and the drugs and the pills and all that stuff, they're going to have to find their own way to the light. But I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to go in the house and watch more Alaska, The Last Frontier, because the noise annoys. People think you live in a city and you have freedom to do whatever you want. Not if that one thing that you want to do is to fucking sit in peace and quiet and just not hear anything but the nature. I hope you have a rad day. I can't even say it, I don't even feel peaceful.